Welcome, curious mind. Here are the stories of some of history's most peculiar individuals. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below so you never miss out on our captivating historical tales. Number 1. Diogenes, the Greek philosopher from the 4th century BC, is shrouded in mystery, with his early years steeped in speculation. What is certain, however, is that Diogenes is one of antiquity's most eccentric figures. After being exiled for tampering with currency, he embraced a vagabond existence in Corinth. Stripping himself of possessions, save for a few tattered garments and a wooden bowl, he became a beggar by choice. Diogenes habitually disrupted Plato's lectures, noisily consuming his meals and engaging in heated philosophical debates. His audacious behavior extended to public displays of self-gratification and unrestrained defecation, even on Plato's revered lectern. Surprisingly, Diogenes garnered a reputation amidst these peculiarities as one of Greece's wisest thinkers. Tales of his sharp wit and incisive insights abound, often leaving his contemporaries, especially Plato, flummoxed. Number 2. Lord Byron, born in 1788, was fated for distinction. Despite a deformed foot, initially not destined for the barony of Byron, it came to him at the tender age of 10, along with substantial wealth and land. Byron's poetry, marked by a haughty demeanor, served as a vessel for unbridled expression. He used it to publicly deride fellow poets, reserving his harshest critiques for Southey, Coleridge, and Whitman, whom he dismissed as uninspired. Byron's personal life eclipsed even his literary escapades. Challenged by Cambridge's no dogs policy, he adopted a bear as a pet. His romantic entanglements were equally tumultuous, including a union with his half-sister and a brief marriage to a wealthy heiress. Unable to quell his attraction to his sister, he faced allegations of insanity, culminating in divorce proceedings. In 1816, surrounded by rumors, Byron sought refuge at Percy Bysshe Shelley's Swiss abode, where Mary Shelley penned Frankenstein. Whether he was engrossed in Mary's sister or witnessed her literary endeavors remains a contention. Byron's sojourn in Italy witnessed endeavors in Armenian self-education and biblical reinterpretation. In Ravenna, his home became a menagerie of exotic birds, believed by Byron to house reincarnated souls. Number 3. Hetty Green, a product of America's Gilded Age, ascended to wealth through shrewd investments. Born in 1837, her financial prowess blossomed after a strategic prenuptial agreement with millionaire Edward Henry Green. Her vigilance extended to extreme frugality, exemplified by conducting business on the floor of her bank and elaborate detours to thwart imaginary pursuers. Nicknamed the Witch of Wall Street, Hetty's thriftiness reached astonishing heights. She reheated oatmeal over her radiator to avoid coal expenses and even returned a worn-out broom for a mere 10 cents. However, her parsimony reached tragic proportions when she attempted to set her son's broken leg herself, resorting to pauper disguises for medical care. Number 4. Anneliese Michel's bone-chilling tale has haunted people for decades and inspired the 2005 film The Exorcism of Emily Rose, earning her a place among history's most peculiar individuals. Born in 1960s Bavaria, West Germany, Michel was a devout Catholic with a deep religious fervor, attending Mass twice weekly. Her life took a drastic turn at 16 when she experienced blackouts at school and began wandering in a dazed state. These episodes recurred the following year, accompanied by compulsive physical actions. Seeking medical attention, Michel was diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy, a condition characterized by seizures, memory loss, hallucinations, and potentially hyperreligiosity due to Geschwind syndrome. Despite medication, Michel's condition worsened. She began to perceive and hear malevolent entities. Convinced she was damned, convinced she was possessed, Michel sought help from priests. After initial refusal, priest Ernst Alt believed her and gained consent from a local bishop for exorcisms. Over 10 months, Alt and a local priest performed 67 exorcisms on Michel, during which she claimed to be inhabited by demons like Lucifer, Cain, Judas Iscariot, Adolf Hitler, and Nero. Tragically, Michel's physical condition deteriorated during this period. Excessive prayer led to knee fractures, and she gradually ceased eating. On July 1st, 1976, malnutrition and dehydration claimed her life. Michel's parents and the priests were charged with negligent homicide, though they were found guilty and spared prison sentences. While the exact cause of Michel's untimely demise remains uncertain, Some posit that a more human, albeit bizarre, force rather than the supernatural led to her passing. Number 5. John Mitten, better known as Mad Jack, steps into the spotlight. Mad Jack's story begins with a staggering daily ritual, 6 to 8 bottles of rich, intoxicating port wine. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Not content with a life of mere excess, Mad Jack wades into the tumultuous waters of politics, but instead of winning hearts and minds, he decides to buy them. Each voter receives a princely sum of $10, securing his victory with a grand total of $10,000. Yet, his political career is a blink and you'll miss it affair. Now, imagine a man equally passionate about hunting as he is about port. Mad Jack's twist? He'd strip down completely in the heat of the chase, even in the biting cold and relentless winds. Bruised and unseated, he'd ride on, fearless in his birthday suit. But wait, it gets even stranger. When it came to curing hiccups, Mad Jack was fearless in his methods. He set his nightshirt on fire, believing that the sheer fright would banish those pesky hiccups for good. And if that's not bizarre enough, imagine Mad Jack making a grand entrance to a soiree on the back of a bear. It's safe to say he probably wasn't at the top of the party guest list after that. Gloria Ramirez's life seemed unremarkable, but the circumstances surrounding her peculiar demise have etched her into the annals of history as one of the most eccentric individuals. On February 19, 1994, Ramirez was admitted to General Hospital in Riverside, California. Her condition was marked by a rapid heart rate, plummeting blood pressure, and an inability to articulate coherent sentences. At only 31 years old and in the advanced stages of cervical cancer, her sudden deterioration was attributed to her ailment. Despite the medical team's dedicated efforts, her condition continued to worsen. During examination, nurses noticed an unusual oily sheen on Ramirez's skin and detected a fruity, garlicky scent emanating from her mouth. A blood sample revealed strange manila-colored particles, and an alarming ammonia odor emanated from her blood. To compound the bizarre situation, nurses began fainting one by one, while others experienced respiratory distress, and one even suffered paralysis. Despite exhaustive attempts to save her, Ramirez passed away that fateful night. A specialized team donned in hazmat suits conducted an examination to shield themselves from the mysterious agent that incapacitated the nurses. Ramirez was dubbed the Toxic Lady because her examination posed risks of exposure to an array of medical complications. 3 autopsies were performed on Ramirez's body, ultimately attributing her demise to heart failure induced by kidney failure, a consequence of her advanced cancer. However, these autopsies failed to definitively explain the peculiarities surrounding Ramirez's afflictions and the inexplicable illnesses suffered by several hospital staff members. And there you have it. If you enjoyed this journey into history's weirdest, make sure to give us a thumbs up, hit that share button to spread the fascination, and of course, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of our past.